And President Trump questioning the actions of 6 Democratic lawmakers who urged the military to disobey the administration's orders. And the president hosting 26 Israeli hostages at the White House earlier today while trying to settle the Russia-Ukraine war. We go now live to NTD's Washington correspondent, Mari Otsu, who's standing by live at the White House. Good evening, Mari. So what exactly did these lawmakers say, and how is the White House now responding?
Steve, good evening. As President Trump today is criticizing sharply these 6 Democratic lawmakers who earlier this week posted a video to social media urging members of the U.S. military and intelligence community to defy what they call illegal orders issued by the Trump administration. And President Trump is responding, calling their behavior seditious at the highest level and, quote, punishable by death. And White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller accuses these lawmakers of openly calling for an insurrection. Let's take a look at the video.
Right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad,
but from right here at home.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
The White House condemns the video, denying that President Trump has issued illegal orders.
The sanctity of our military rests on the chain of command. And if that chain of command is broken, it can lead to people getting killed. It can lead to chaos, and that's what these members of Congress who are essentially encouraging.
And calls out what it says is a double standard.
If this were Republican members of Congress who were encouraging members of the military and members of our United States government to defy orders from the president, this entire room would be up in arms. But instead, it is the other way around, and I think that's quite telling.
The 6 lawmakers respond to the president in a joint statement, vowing they will not be intimidated, while the White House calls their message, quote, very, very dangerous.
And so these members knew what they were doing. They were leading into their credentials as former members of our military, as veterans, as former members of the national security apparatus to signal to people serving under this commander-in-chief, Donald Trump, that you can defy him and you can betray your oath of office.
Meanwhile, President Trump welcomes 26 freed Israeli hostages to the White House.
Hostages. You're not a hostage anymore today. You're heroes.
While the White House confirms that the U.S. has drafted a framework to end the Russia-Ukraine war.
President Trump has made it very clear since day one, and even on the campaign trail, that he wants to see this war come to an end. He has grown increasingly frustrated with both sides of this war, Russia and Ukraine alike, for their refusal to commit to a peace agreement.
This comes as Ukrainian President Zelensky meets with U.S. Army Secretary Daniel Driscoll. The White House saying Driscoll is very optimistic after that meeting and pushing back on critics who call the proposed peace plan a setback for Ukraine, insisting that the administration is confident it can replicate the same Middle East peace breakthrough with Russia and Ukraine.
You've read reporting from one side of the war, and so I want you to understand that the administration has talked equally with both sides. You have seen President Trump engage directly with both President Putin and President Zelensky.
Meanwhile, President Trump is expected to host New York City's mayor-elect, self-described Democratic Socialist Zoran Mamdani at the White House tomorrow. The President posting to Truth Social that the, quote, communist mayor of New York City requested the meeting. The two are expected to talk affordability, public safety, and economic security. This meeting is coming after Democrats won off-year elections earlier this month, with President Trump issuing a proclamation declaring that election week anti-communist week, saying that terms like social justice and democratic socialism cloak what he calls the same evil doctrine of communism, which has only brought ruin. Steve, back to you.
Well, we'll certainly be watching that closely to see if there's any common ground coming out of that meeting at the White House. NTD's Mari Otsu live on the North Lawn. Thank you, Mari.